Cheers to the first podcast.
Yeah, push it, click, click. Yeah, pop up on the up, watch it, blip, blip.
Hey y'all, the duo is back.
The Chosen Two.
As y'all can see, we back with the very first episode of the podcast.
First off, let's get into how we're gonna run the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't want it to be too scripted. As y'all can see, we sit on the couch relaxing. We also got our wine.
Period.
We're gonna be sipping throughout this thing because we really want to get into it, talk to y'all like we talking to y'all in front of our face.
Right.
So
basically like how we do our mukbangs. Y'all know how we are. We get in the car, we just talk, we just let it flow, let it all out. And we want to have that same type of vibe on our podcast as well.
Yes.
I mean, well, mental health is more of like a serious topic. But either way, we still just gonna be,
getting
talking.
Into it.
Yeah.
Let's just get into it. The first thing we're gonna talk about is listening. That's like probably the number one thing you should do. Listen without interrupting. That's like the major thing that people do.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't realize, like some people don't realize that they're interrupting you, but at the same time, when somebody is speaking, just listen because you don't know what can come after that.
Right.
Like,
and then it's effective. Like, it already takes people a lot to even build up the courage to be like, okay, let me express myself to this, or tell this person how I feel or what I've been going through and stuff. So whenever somebody do come to you, like, listen to what they got to say. Like, pay attention. Don't just brush it off like, oh, you always sad or you always got something going on. Like, it's important to listen to your family and your friends.
And not only listening, but understanding. Like, let them know you understand. Don't just be like, letting them talk and you going over there doing something or getting your stuff done. Just acknowledge what they're saying. And then that way, they'll be more comfortable and probably letting you know something else.
Right. And not being so judgmental at the same time.
It's another thing that stop people from telling you anything further than what they need to if they're about to. They could probably try to harm themselves. You don't know what you can do to help somebody and stop them from doing.
Right. So try to make yourself, I think because even with social media, I feel like everything's so funny now. Like everything turns into comedy. Like every serious situation turns into something to laugh about now. So that's what made it seem like people might feel like they can't come to certain people or they don't want to come off like a burden to other people and stuff. So it's important for you to like make yourself available to these people. Like let them know like you can come talk to me or whatever whenever you down, or just showing up like in some type of way for these people. I was gonna say something about how this whole thing, like when people do these videos, when people like the people who did choose to commit suicide or something, and then you see them, they was always happy, laughing, smiling. It's just like we didn't know. Like that's a real thing too, which is
that's how they hide their pain. Like sometimes the most happiest people be so sad, like are going through the most things behind closed doors, and that's how they cover it up. For instance, today we went to the shoe store or whatever, and this guy was so nice. He was really he was smiling, just helpful. Like he didn't look like he was going through nothing. But I did see cuts on his arm, and I just felt so bad. I instantly felt bad, and then I felt even worse because I was gonna say something to him, like tell him it was gonna be okay and stuff like that. And I felt like God put that on my mind to tell him, but he seen me look at him, and I didn't want to because he already at work, right? And I was just I think it's important to tell people what's on your mind because you don't know what you don't know what you can do to stop them from doing whatever or feel better just in that day. But he was literally had the prettiest smile, just covering up, real nice. Like it was just so sad though. But I was just like, dang, people just really be going through stuff. It be the happiest people.
Don't know, like you
don't
never really know. But the best you can do is just try to pay attention. Don't ignore the signs, and even simple things like something your friend or family member might say on social media or repost or something. Like, let's not take everything so lightly, because even through that, they can be trying to send a message or something like that. So,
and it's been so many times where people have done that, and then later on, you will look back, like somebody passed away, you look at their social media, because I'm the type, I'll go through the social media like, what was on their mind?
Yeah.
And then it was right there in our face.
In everybody's face.
Yep.
We just...
That's why I try to... Initially, to anybody, I try to be nice,
Right.
Well, I do be nice. Like, I'm just a nice person initially. So if somebody tell you something, don't be gossiping. Like if somebody's telling you something serious, it's gonna get back to them. Like, that's how I try to think of stuff. Like, as far as gossiping or talking about, like, yeah, everybody want to gossip. It's kind of cool, fun, all of that shit. But you don't want to do that, and then they get back to the person and they already felt like they can trust you, and then when they get back to them, they're like. And then that just adds on to the stress or whatever is causing them to feel the way they are. And then you're just another person that they can't trust.
Right. Like what somebody shared with you as far as what they going through. Like that's...
Yes.
What's the word? I don't know. Like it's personal. Like, I mean...
It is.
It's not nothing to just be going on, you know, going around saying and stuff. You know what else is really important though? Because... I'm glad that mental health is something that's being talked about a lot more than it was before. Like, it's a lot more awareness to it right now. I'm not sure what changed or whatever, but I'm happy for it. But there are still those people in the world who just don't get it or never been in those situations or don't know how people who suffer from anxiety or depression feel. But I feel like it's important for those people, like if that's you and you just feel like, how y'all get, you know, some people be like, you depressed over that or whatever. Like, it's important for you to really do your research and find out what people are really going through, not just feel like, or again, blowing it off because you don't understand it or you're not affected by it.
I used to be that type of person, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I used to be like, why this person doing this over this little stuff? Yeah. But I had to understand, I understood when I basically start going through things. I'm just like, when you ask why, it's power in the tongue. Because you will find out why. That's a good topic to talk about too. But that's for another day. But yeah, you might want to stop asking why on a lot of stuff. Because I personally stop because I don't want to know. But things can be so small to you, but it can be big to somebody else and vice versa. So just try to understand that person. They can say something about they mad because the sky is blue. That might depress them. That might literally put them in that mental state. It doesn't matter if it's not serious to you. The most thing that you can do if you don't understand is research and try to help that person. You know, like I just feel like,
and we ain't gotta get too deep into this topic because not this one, what I'm about to say, because we can talk about this another time. But one specific like example of that is like when people don't understand or try to downplay people's like feelings when it comes to how they feel about somebody else. Like heartbreak is real. Like when people feel like, how is somebody so affected by another person? Like that's why I say that's a whole nother topic to get into. But like good. You know, those people who just be those people who were married or even if they were married in a relationship for so long and then like now they not with this person and they everything about them seemed like it fell apart or they just not the same no more. Like, but that just goes to show like people have an effect on people. Like interactions are important too. Like it don't necessarily just have to be because somebody died or something. Like I don't know. Like just I don't know. Everything that contributes to somebody's feelings, anything can make somebody depressed or fall into a depression. Like it's so many different things.
So one of the major things that I can't stress enough is our community has to get more knowledge on mental health or get more familiar with it. Like it's literally like I'm sorry because I'm just too like I just get heated a little bit with that little topic because it's just something that is so important, and I feel like as our community we don't really stress the fact of how important it is.
The first thing that comes to mind when we talk about specifically our community is that thing that's like, I'm laughing because it's a little funny, but it's not funny when they be like, black kids be like, I'm depressed, and black parents be like, depressed them dishes. Just like blowing it off or don't care enough to even know like what's going on with their child, but then when their child try to commit suicide or acting a fool, doing something crazy, you wondering why.
And it was all in your they've been trying to tell you. And this is the thing, as far as like when kids tell their parents stuff when they're younger and then the parents they blow it off, the result of that is the kids holding it in, bottling up inside, not knowing how to talk to nobody. Like either growing up and either doing stuff they're not supposed to do as far as like drugs, selling themselves. It's just a lot of different things. Killing themselves. It's just so many things. And then, like she said, they'll be looking stupid because you told them kids, oh, you being too sensitive. You told them kids, oh, that ain't that serious. Like,
you
know,
too
just
young. You ain't got nothing going on. Or you know that type of
And you told them kids like stuff like that, and then you wonder why, like, oh, why their depression is getting worse. Why are they acting the way they acting? Yeah. It's all because you didn't listen.
And now you feeling like, oh, it's too late. Because now they doing this and doing that.
Exactly. And when that was the result.
Yeah.
If you would just listen, then maybe they would be better off like you raised them to be. Like, you know what I mean? Because I hear that a lot. I didn't raise them to be that way. But
and your child's story, life story ain't going to be what yours was.
It's
like,
not.
So what are you talking about? You don't know what they go through when they at school or when they just outside from being with you. Like, oh, parents be thinking they just know everything.
I know.
Child would never, my child this, my child that. Like, you don't know.
You don't know what they go through. And then home is supposed to be a place they supposed to feel free. Let these kids feel free instead of coming home to get... You like they go through something at school, then they come home, and then they going through something there. Where do they get to go?
Yeah,
to feel free.
Right.
So all that stuff is inside, building up mental health. Like it's literally that's what it is. Like it's just a lot of stuff, and it's not only just that, but I feel like in our community is really that, and then believing that Black kids can get it. Like because let's be honest, a lot of us don't believe that it's a Black person thing. Like.
Yeah,
that'll forever be weird to me.
Yeah,
that's weird.
Like Black people can't be depressed.
Yeah,
Black people can't.
Don't make sense.
Have anxiety, and I think I think that is because like I think people feel like that because Black people don't take the same measures as other races. They don't go. Black people don't instantly think I need therapy. They don't instantly think maybe they have some type of medication, and everybody don't want to do that medication to try and help me or whatever. We always try to find other outlets or whatever, but coming from us or whoever's watching this who like ain't nothing wrong with therapy if you feel like because maybe you don't have any friends or family that you could just call and text and stuff, and they have so many options now, cheaper options than they did before.
They have where you can be at home talking to the person on your phone like you are FaceTiming a friend or something.
Right.
But
there's nothing wrong with reaching out for help in that way.
Yep. And this video might cross somebody that do feel like they need to reach out or talk to somebody. Please feel free because I'm all for that.
Right. Y'all are definitely more than welcome to DM me or on whatever social platform you have me on. I'm more than willing to talk. If you need some, I don't know, like we there to talk. Like we two of those people that y'all can come to and count on if you don't have anybody else.
Yes, please feel free.
So all in all, I mean, our message is really it's just important to listen to other people, pay attention to the signs, take it seriously,
And even if you're not going through anything, but you are around this person that you may think that always got something depressing or something to say, you need to be there for that person because that person 9 times out of 10 is trying to reach out for help but don't know how because it's more of people like you that's around and they don't want to listen or take them serious. So yeah.
And I had read something this lady had said, but she was basically saying, even as somebody that's helping somebody go through something, you gotta understand that you can't cure what they're going through. So it's never like anybody is expecting you to fix anybody's problem or take them out of a depression or anything because you can't do that. It's not possible. The best thing for you to do is basically let that person know that you love them, you care about them, and you're gonna be there for them, and then that's just it.
Please don't feel crazy or whatever society got people feeling. If you want to go and talk to a counselor, do it because at the end of the day, it works and it's helping you. Don't worry about what society got to say. They always gonna talk.
Right.
Somebody always gonna say something.
Right.
Because when you become a better you gonna be looking back like I should have been did this. So I hope this really do help somebody, at least one person. So well, that concludes our first podcast.
Yes, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it.
Guys, let's do cheers to the first.
Oh. Yeah, cheers to the first podcast.
Yeah. If y'all want to know what we sipping on, shut on that bottle. It's the La Rosa.
YouTube, don't be trying to come for us.
Oh, they can?
Girl, I don't know. Tropical mango, though. Stella Rosa, get into it.
Yeah. So please do comment, subscribe, like, and share
this video. And of course, drop down some more topics that y'all want us to discuss on the podcast. Yes. We know this one a little bit more on the serious side and stuff, but I mean, we can get into the tea too. What y'all want to talk about?
Y'all know us. Those that know.
Y'all know how we get down. We're gonna catch y'all on the next one. Bye.